Welcome to the Angry Nerd Podcast. My name is Arshawn Wade, aka the Angry Nerd. The Angry Nerd Podcast is taped in front of a live Facebook audience from my mom's basement. The Angry Nerd Podcast is brought to you in part by a couple of shattered dreams and a few bad life decisions. The Angry Nerd Podcast is made possible by money that my wife gives me from my SSI check, this chick named Joni, and proceeds from listeners like you. If you want to be one of the listeners who helps contribute to this show getting better and better, go to Cash App. My Cash App is $ the Angry Nerd. But wait, we ain't glorified internet begging out here in these nerd streets. Pick up one of the Angry Nerd Podcast t-shirts. They come in colors black and white. For sizes small through extra large, you can get yours for the very, very low price of $20 plus shipping and handling. I mail orders out on Fridays, typically, could have inclement weather, or maybe I was a little bit high and fell asleep and I didn't get it out. No big. We'll mail it out on Saturday, but we'll get it out to you at our very earliest convenience, and I promise you will be super, super happy, even if you had to wait an extra day. So, party people, tonight's topic: love. That nasty four-letter word, Love. Or, as my friend Music Soul Child would say, love. I love that nobody questioned him about taking off the glasses. Y'all know he had that wandering eye thing going for himself. Yeah, and no one ever questioned that. I guess he sang so well, he was like, we'll let you get away with always wearing glasses to hide that eye. Kumo D did it too. That's right. Man, y'all better know I'm going to show off with these sound effects. I done took all this time to get this equipment set up and everything. I am going to put a drop on every single thing I can put one on. But lucky for you guys, I was lazy and I didn't download enough drops, so I only have a round of applause and I only have my air horn, which I am going to use grotesquely since this is my first show back with all of my sound effects. Well, partially having all of my sound effects. But anyways, tonight's topic is love. Few questions, actually more than a few. Is love an exhaustive energy, or is love perpetual bliss? Can love be used up? What's the source of love? Can you get some more love if you run out? Is love a choice? Why love? Who gets love? And at the end of the day, do you really want love? These questions and more will be answered tonight. And once again, I don't have all the questions. I don't have all the answers. I'm just a little skinny black dude that likes talking a whole lot and don't mind sharing my opinion. But the most noteworthy thing that jumped out at me when I was thinking about the word love is that it seems like we have this idea that once you fall in love with someone, that's the end all. And I hate Walt Disney for that. Walt Disney, I think, is the reason that we have this grandiose idea of what it means to have love and to be in love. And if they showed at the end of Cinderella, after the prince got her, he found her and found the slipper fit the right white girl, and they put it on the girl, and they went on to live happily ever after. But what they never show you is what happily ever after looks like. They don't show you after Cinderella put on a few pounds and after, Prince Charming has been caught cheating a couple of times. They do not show you what it takes to maintain love after life happens. So, and it may be me and my pessimistic view after having failed at love so many times, but I just don't think that love is something that will always abound, contrary to what the Bible may say. Love covers a multitude of sins and yada, yada, yada. You guys know what Corinthians says if you read your Bible. So I'm not going to quote too many scriptures here tonight. But I don't think that love is one of those omnipotent energies. You know what I mean? I think it is like, it's like the wind. Love comes and love goes. That's my opinion. And I'm pretty sure that somebody is out there who believes they have a perfect relationship and that they are in love and perfect love, and they may have a different opinion about that. But for me and my experience with love, I remember explaining it to a young lady like this. For me, love is a lot like Super Mario Brothers. Does anybody remember the video game Super Mario Brothers on Nintendo? Do you remember the first time you played Mario Brothers? Do you remember the first stage? Doot, 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 Do, 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 do. It was light. It was airy. And it was fun. And you just didn't know you were looking for the next thing. You see these little turtle guys and the little brown chocolate drop dudes that we kind of almost don't really know what they are. I think later on in life we realized these were little shit droplets. I don't know. But it was fun. It was adventurous. And then lo and behold, you go down one of these goddamn tunnels. When you go down the tunnel, the sound that it makes is very uncertain. And then after you come out of the tunnel, bloop, you make this very unsettling sound. You drop down into a new level. Bloop. And then you, the music's a little scary. It's a little bit dark. Very uncertain. Downright weird. And at some point you get done going through a whole bunch of obstacles and experiencing a bunch of heartache and turmoil going through with these turtles and King Koopa and whoever the hell else down here in this sewer. You find another tunnel and you come out and there's daylight. And great things are happening again, and you end up getting a reward only after you traverse the highways and the byways of the sewer, the bad thing. And I think that love is like that. I think that when you start love, it starts off light and airy and fluffy and great and cool. Everything that she says is funny. Everything that she does is cute. You know what I mean? I'm never more handsome than when a bitch is in love with me. I find out so much stuff about myself that's handsome when a girl's in love with me. Because everything that you do at that phase is dope. You're exploring and adventuring, and at some point, you know, after a little bit of time goes by and you get kind of used to all these cute things, life starts happening, especially if you live in the United States of America. Life starts happening in the form of bills, in the form of other bitches, in the form of children, in the form of bad credit. What happens when Prince Charming doesn't have a great credit score and he can't put Sleeping Beauty in the right house? I'll tell you what's going to happen. Sleeping Beauty's going to wake up and decide that she's an independent woman and she can do bad all by herself. Because all of a sudden Prince Charming ain't so charming. That 580 credit score ain't looking so charming now. Now we got some life things happening, and love ain't enough to pay the bills. Love ain't enough to fix Prince Charming's credit score. Love's not enough to get any of these things in the real world done. So you want to know what happens when you live in the real world? Love takes a back seat. You damn right. I don't give a damn how much I love this lady. She's not pulling her weight around here. I can't think about how much I love her because I live in the real world, and in the real world, you got to put in some work. Love's a lot like that too. You got to put in some work. Now, for those of you who think that Arshawn is a pessimist, my second part to that question is love perpetual bliss? Continuous joy for those of us that went to Northside. Thank you very much, class of 03. Perpetual bliss, that never-ending soaring, won't ever come down. You know, we thought Will and Jada had that. Do you remember we thought that about Will and Jada? Will and Jada were like our it thing. They were like they were bagels. That's what it was. That's what it was. Will and Jada were bagels at one point because we thought everything was hunky-dory. They're very beautiful people, super successful, beautiful children, super talented family. They've been in the public eye their entire marriage. No scandals up until recently. Thank you for that, Mr. August Alsina. You provided me with at least 3 episodes of the Angry Nerd podcast with your debacle with Miss Jada and the entanglement. So shout out to August Alsina. But I digress. Until we found out that there was trouble in paradise, that these are real people with real problems, we thought that Will and Jada had that perpetual bliss type love because they looked so happy and beautiful. And we didn't know any of their business until we did. Now we're taking a look at this perpetual bliss a little bit differently. I think the institution of love took a shot when the entanglement debacle came about. Why? Because I don't know about America at large, but I know in the black community, Will and Jada were looked at like the Ayatollah, the pinnacle, the Pentagon of what a relationship should look like and what it should be. There was not a greater couple. Will's a good man. Will still kind of looked at, I don't know, man. We're on the fence with Will. He's looking kind of bad. But so for me, the war with love is it exhaustive or is it perpetual? And as I asked that question, I answered by saying neither. I have to change based on new information that has popped into my brain. I would say that it's cyclical. I think that, love works in phases and cycles. Everyone knows about the honeymoon phase. That's what we're most familiar with. That first 90 days, that's the dragon that we're chasing. That's why we're saying that people changed. No, they didn't change. Life is happening. The honeymoon is over. Now it's time to shit or get off the pot. So I believe love is cyclical, which leads me to the next question. Can love be used up? It brings me to a movie. What was that movie? Was it Love Jones? With Lorenz Tate and Nia Long, and I loosely remember a quote, something to the effect of exhausting the possibility of love. Exhausting the possibility of love. If I exhaust the possibility of love, did I use all of my love? Or did I run out of ways to express, process, and facilitate love? See, there's the crux of the problem. Most people have absolutely no idea what love is, what it means to them, their personal definition and their personal relationship with the institution of love. They allow Walt Disney and Steven Spielberg and whichever other love movie making ass dude out there define love for them. Most people allow the powers that shouldn't be to define what love means for them. So I think I'm inclined to go with the character in Love Jones and say, yeah, I agree. Oftentimes people exhaust the possibility of love. I do think that love is like most energies. It's neither destroyed nor used up, but transferred from one place to another. I think that, as I said previously, it moves around. I think that love is transitory. Love is a transitory energy. And I think that there are things that you can do to attract it and bring it back around. I believe that there are things that you can do to keep it around longer. But I think if you do not allow love to run its natural course, it will cause a glitch in the matrix. And that's how we see these relationships like Will Smith and Jada explode. Because the weight of pretending to be perfect in love is unreal. Let me tell you, I have been in a relationship where I felt the pressure to be better than I was. Not in a good way. Not in a good way. Not like this relationship is drawing out the best of me. This relationship drew out the worst of me. Because I allowed someone else's definition of love to rule in my life. So I recognize that there can be an undue amount of stress placed upon a person and a relationship due to the want to perform, the want to maintain the image. Love is actually a lot uglier than we want to believe. Most people will disagree with what I'm about to say, but love comes with the choke out. Love comes with curse words. Love comes with a spat here and there. We're not talking about domestic violence. If somebody's beating on you or putting hands on you, touching you in an unkind way, you are supposed to contact your local authorities and get out of that situation at your earliest convenience. Please and thank you, ma'am, sir, or whoever you may be that may be getting abused. But there is a mild level of abuse that's inherent in a relationship, that is inherent in love. Have you ever had a child, talking to my parents now, have you ever had a child run into the street, almost be hit by a car, and you just barely get to them before the car runs them over, and you snatch their little asses up and you whoop their ass? You don't whoop their ass because you're angry. You whoop their ass because you love them so much and they scared the shit out of you. They were almost not here anymore. I don't know what I would have done if you had have gone out in that street and gotten killed. Oh my goodness, that's happened to me. That happened to me. I think that was the first time I whooped my daughter. Nina was 2, I think, and she took off running. Oh my goodness. She did not listen to me whatsoever. She would call me stupid dad, punk ass dad, all kinds of crazy stuff. Nina was a rebel without a cause when she was about 2, until I tore that little ass up because she ran away from me and there was a car coming. And I thought this was the cutest thing in the world and I would chase her all the time. My mom kept telling me, boy, quit letting that girl run from you like that. That's dangerous. And I'm like, oh, I just thought it was cute. I had been released from jail and, I don't want to scare her. She had just got to the point she wasn't scared of me no more. And my baby would take off running in the damn street. And this day there was a car coming and I thank God I'm fast as a jackrabbit. And I was able to get to her and snatch her. It was just like you see in the movies. Right at the last minute, another step and my baby wouldn't be here. Even though she hadn't talked to me that much, I'm still glad that she is in the world. And I tore her little ass up because I loved her. Because I love her so much that the thought of her doing something that would take her from me made me so afraid. So there's a mild level of violence involved with love. And you just have to know that. So yeah, there are going to be spats. There are going to be a couple of choice words used. There's going to be some personal information divulged in an unkind way. That's a part of love. That doesn't mean that love is used up because you guys find yourself in these rumbles, locking horns over these issues. Love is not used up. Oh no. The possibility of love is being exhausted because you're running out of avenues to express that love. That's my opinion. What is the source of love? Here's the one that the ladies have a big problem with. The source of love. Ladies think that it's your responsibility for you to have love in your relationship. So one thing I do agree with Will and Jada on, it is not my responsibility for you to be happy, for you to feel loved, any of that. Because let me tell you, the emotional terrorist loves someone who wants to prove their love. And you have to be careful because some people think that they're so inherently unhappy that they will make the responsibility for their happiness and their love yours, which is unfair and it's just untrue. The real source of love is within. Love has to be cultivated from within. The most difficult task that I've faced, and I'm like, I look at myself like Hercules or Xerxes or one of the great warrior type guys of the past. You know what I mean? I liken myself to these guys. I've been on a journey and a quest my entire life, and the greatest quest that I ever went on was on the quest to find love for Arshawn. But you don't hear me though. And I had 2 children at the time. Had been married. I think I had already divorced her. I think that was the first. I was pretty proud of the fact I divorced her from jail. Instead of me getting the hate mail, I sent the hate mail. I was like, nah, bitch, I'm done with you. But I was heartbroken. But anyways, I think I had already been married and I had 2 children at this time. And I had to go on a quest to find love for Arshawn. So can you imagine how difficult it could have been for any lady who had been in a relationship with me up until this point? Shit, it's still hell on a bitch in a relationship with me. If I'm downright honest about it, I'm still hell on a bitch. I can't keep a bitch save my life. But anyways, can you imagine how difficult it is for a lady to be in a relationship with a young man who has no love for himself? See, I had to go on this very scary journey because you have to realize if you don't love yourself, you can't love your woman because she's an extension of you. You can't love your children because they're an extension of you and your lady who you don't love properly because you don't love yourself properly. So you don't love these little people properly. It starts with self. It starts from within. And I'll tell you another thing. It starts with healing a lot of past hurts. The source of love has to come from within, but that fountain that love is going to spout from oftentimes has to be repaired. Most of the time you have to repair that fountain. You have to clean the water before love can actually flow. There are so many people running around right now talking about this person wasn't that and that person wasn't this, and it's you. You don't have love for yourself. You don't have enough love in you for you, so you can't get it from anyone else and you can't give it to anyone else. And that's just the cold hard truth. And oftentimes women will place the responsibility for the lack of love in the relationship on you, when in reality, it has a whole lot to do with the unhealed issues from her childhood, from her adolescence, from her teenage years, from her young adulthood, from her first baby daddy. Oftentimes. So now that we've found the source of love, it brings me to this question. Can you get some more? If you do exhaust the possibility of love, because let's face it, some of us in the low income communities, oftentimes the black communities, we have very limited resources, very limited intelligence. So what happens is we only know how to emote in a very limited fashion. So what does that mean for love? That means love in the low income community is limited at best. So the best you can do is replenish a limited source of love without some sort of professional intervention. And this is where we come to a conundrum in the black community oftentimes, because we have a strong animus toward the mental health institution. Now, I will say this, and I love black women for this, because black women are getting more and more vocal in the black community about mental health issues. I love that about sisters. They're fearless about that, about being vulnerable out there in the public eye about their mental health issues and things like that. So I salute that. And I see that men are I know that me and a few of my friends, we have a men's mental health group that we've been dealing with. I haven't been around those guys in like 3 months. I feel so bad about it. But we have to have these conversations about mental health. And if our mental health ain't right, that means our love ain't right. Our emotional barometer hinges on our intelligence. Emotional intelligence, if you have limited intelligence in general, how much more limited will your emotional intelligence be? So in the low income communities and in the black community at large, we have to first educate ourselves on the institution of love. So yes, I 100% believe that if you exhaust the possibility of love, that you can get more. There are more possibilities out there. It's like having a toolbox. You know, when you first get your little toolbox, you got like a wrench and some pliers, you know, a few screwdrivers and things like that. And then as you become a better handyman, you acquire vice grips and C-clamps, and you acquire pin punches and all sorts of stuff. And your love resources have to be like that too. You have to learn more and more love tools. So you have to go get educated on love. 100% I believe you can get more love, but you have to get educated first. Excuse me. So knowing that love can be replenished, the possibility of love can be depleted. Is love a choice? I've heard it said you can't help who you love. Oftentimes these are quotes made by people who are in swirly relationship. What do they call them? Swirlers or something. What do they call that? Those interracial relationships. Oftentimes I hear quotes like that championed by these folks. And I think that's okay. I mean, say what you got to say, but they say, you know, you can't help who you love. And I beg to differ. I'm going to say something right now that nobody has ever heard in the history of my life. I did not love my second wife. I don't have my boo button, or I would boo myself. I didn't love her to begin with. I liked her a whole lot because she is one of the most exemplary human beings I've ever met. And hands down. And I liked her a lot. She was not my ideal type physically. I'm a vain motherfucker. It just is what it is. I didn't say it was great, and I didn't say it was right. I'm just speaking plainly. I am very vain. And she was not my ideal type. But from the time I met her, I was in the friend zone forever. But from the time I met her, I wanted her and I had to have her. But she was not my ideal type. Everyone knows my ideal type. Light skin black. I like light skin black with a little light mustache on the side. You know what I mean? They don't have to have the light skin mustache, but they, you know, if they got the little sideburns, it's kind of cute. But anyways, I digress. She was not my ideal type. But what I did is I made a conscious decision to love her. I said, so I started picking her apart and looking at everything that made her so attractive to me. And the craziest thing happened. I became obsessed with her. And I don't know if it was, I'm not entirely sure, excuse me, not entirely sure if it was healthy or not. Well, she left me, so I'm pretty sure it wasn't healthy. So I'm pretty sure it wasn't healthy. But I think that you can choose to love a person and develop a stronger bond, a stronger connection. But I think that it's dangerous if you do this by yourself. Or you'll wind up like me. You'll wind up obsessed with someone who's on the way out on you. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. A relationship takes its toll after a while. Love can be beat up and abused, socked out and dragged out. I didn't say that it could be lost. I didn't say it could be exhausted. But love can be beat the fuck up. And you can take somebody's love and beat them the fuck up, and they can decide, look, I'm going to leave while I still got my life. So you have to make love a choice. But that doesn't mean stay in a situation where you're being emotionally, physically, or abused in any way, shape, form, or fashion. That choice works both ways. You can choose not to love someone. Because I 100% think that my second wife, even now, I think she still loves me. But I think she's made a conscious choice not to. I think that it could be there, but I think she's like, fuck him. And respectfully, because she treats me well, she treats me with respect. So it's not that way, but I'm not fucking with you, dude. So I do think that love is a choice, because as I chose to love my wife, I believe that she chose not to love me. Why love? This question is loaded. Two little words, but it's so loaded. Why love? I had to ask myself this. Why is love necessary? Why is love necessary? Do you like it's like one of our earliest memories. It's like one of my earliest thoughts. Love. Wanting to be loved. Wanting some love. My mom, my mom was like the dopest individual in the world to me growing up. But I've shared before that I felt like my mom didn't love me. She didn't love me right. It seemed like the bitch was always leaving, having kids and shit, going to school, getting married. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, bitch, what about me? And like I said before, listening to myself as a grown man say that, I sound like a selfish little brat. But I still feel that way. I still feel like I could have had better relationships if my mom had loved me better, because I'm a clingy nigga. I'm one of those niggas that, listen, I am very clingy. I need you to be around me. I need you to be around me, but not up under me, okay? You know what I mean? Like, I need you to be in the house, but I don't need you to be on the couch. I need you to be around me, but I don't need you to be up under me. And it's because I feel like my mom was always leaving me. So, but my earliest memory is not getting a thing that I really, really wanted a whole lot. And I could never understand why I wanted to be loved so badly. Couldn't figure it out. And to this day, I can't figure it out. I have to be adored. If a girl doesn't adore me, I cannot be with a girl that does not adore me. I am very vain, and I'm not talking the right or the wrong of it. I'm just saying the honest, hard truth. Like, I cannot be with an aloof ass bitch. I can't do it. I need somebody. I gotta have a person who's like got pom poms out for me when I'm around. Like, if I'm around, it's an event. That's that motherfucker. There you go. Like you know the little dog. You know, like you ever had a girlfriend that has a little dog? You know, little dogs. When you come home, little dog, they'll run around the circle real fast. They'll jump up and down. They'll hump your leg. You know what I mean? Like, nobody makes you feel like the man, like a little dog. Like, a little dog is like, oh, there you go. There. You know, like a little dog is like super excited. Like, oh, that's my motherfucker right there. You know, if you got a little dog, you don't even, I understand why girls have little dogs, because after you have a little dog, you don't need nobody. Because that little dog makes you feel like you are a superstar, a celebrity. You are the opening act, the headliner, and the motherfucking after party if you have a little dog. But I can't understand why I have to have love. I can't understand why my earliest memories in life are not getting something that I wanted so badly. I had a longing for a thing that I didn't know I wanted, that I didn't know existed, that I didn't know I needed. And I feel badly because as a little boy, I harbored a lot of unkind feelings about my mom. Because I felt like this bitch is living her best life out here, and what about me? I'm the oldest. You got to remember, I'm the first baby. I'm the first. You know what I mean? Hey, so I have a right to feel that way. When my little brother came along, you know, it was like, man, you know, this little stranger. You know, and I'm kind of an asshole like that with my kids too. Like, my kids had to earn my love like that, because I'm like, hold on, you're a stranger. I don't know you that good yet. You know, like my third brother came along, you know, it was like, here's another stranger. Fourth brother came, oh, here's another stranger. Sister came along, oh my God, here's a stranger, and it's a girl. And it's some strange woman walking around our house now. So yeah, I felt like mom didn't love me, didn't have enough love to go around, and she kept dividing that shit up too. You know? So who gets love? Who gets to be loved? I've heard a few bitter men say that the only people that get loved are children and dogs. I'll say it again. Children and dogs. And I understand that. because in the United States of America, love for men is very, very conditional. Love is based on how well we can provide, how well we can protect, how good looking we are, how well we perform in bed. I mean, there's just the list goes on. Can you fix a sink? I see the posts on Facebook and social media in general. You know, can you fix a sink? Can you change a tire? And I'm like, you can't even make a cake from scratch, ma'am. Like, you're asking me that and you can't make a cake from scratch. Okay, so stop, calm down, relax. You don't have your real hair on, okay? So like, cool out with all that. You know what I'm saying? But I kind of think that we do get loved. And it isn't until you have a son. It's not until you have a son that this is my opinion. It's not until I had my son, my second son. It was my second son. I have two sons, but it wasn't until I had the second one that I looked at both of them the same way. Like like these little guys, like I see them pretend to walk like me and they try to talk like me and without any influence, even dress like me. And the people close to me know that that's probably not the best thing for them going to elementary school, dress like the angry nerd. It's probably not the best fashion choice. So, and I've tried to share this with them, but you know, they're unwavering as their father is. But seeing someone for no apparent reason other than the fact that you're the guy who's there, they want to do everything the way that you do it. So I think that nobody gets love by default except for a parent. So parents get love. Everyone else, I think, gets an agreement. I think everybody else gets an agreement. The only people who can get love are parents. Because these little people, for no reason other than the fact that you give them food and things and you hug them and kiss them and protect them, they just love you. And I feel like that's the only thing that's you know, like automatic is that relationship between a parent. And I'm not talking about I know there's some shitty people out there who have kids. I don't look at those people as parents. So for the person who's just naturally argumentative, who says, oh, all parents ain't good. All parents are good. Shitty people with children are shitty people with children. They're not parents. If you know, you know. How about that? But anyways, brings me to my last question. Do you really want love? I mean, really. It sounds like a whole lot of work. It sounds like a lot of work for something that is very fickle. It seems like we've already discussed that the possibility of love can be exhausted. Love can be abused to the point of being placed in fight or flight. Love will get the fuck on down if it gets abused enough. Love can be used up. Love does have a source. And at the end of the day, after you learn this information, I'm sure there's other stuff out there because I ain't that smart. Do you really want love? Do you really want to? Everyone thinks they want to be in love. Like everybody really just wants the good feelings of the first 3 months of a relationship. I don't even think it's 3 months anymore. You know, I'm using a really old rubric. I think it's more like about 3 weeks. Let's be honest. It's about 3 weeks. Feel good around a person around a person for about 2 or 3 weeks. And then it's like automatically, it's like it's out of there. We live in the microwave society now. I had to think about it for a minute. You know what I mean? I smoked a J a little earlier, so you know I'm a little hazy. But I had to think about it. Recently, I was dealing with a young lady, and I think it was about that length of time, 2 or 3 weeks. And it was like, wow, this lady's acting differently already. You know what I mean? I'm at the point where I'm just like, I'm gonna go to one of those monasteries and just, you know, practice Buddhism. You know, I think there's one over there on 23rd Street or something like that. I think I'm gonna just check in. You know, I've just had the worst luck with women lately, so I think I'm gonna check out for a little while and take a vow of celibacy. But do you really want love and everything that comes with it? Love sounds so much more cumbersome then Walt Disney presents it to us. It sounds like a responsibility. There's a lot of maintenance that we're going to have to do with this love thing. If we want love, it sounds like first we have to cultivate it. Then we have to foster it. Then we have to nurture it. And then we have to wash, rinse, and repeat. As long as we're alive, as long as we're in the situation that we want to be in, where love is concerned. Do you really want to go through all that shit? Wouldn't you rather just, you know what I mean, as I get older, I understand the institution of prostitution a lot better. Because it's a lot of work, man. Especially now because it's hard to meet people. People are weird in person. I'm a very in-person kind of person. I'm not a texty kind of person. I'm not the online dating kind of person. I will run up on you in Walmart if you got a fat ass and you light skin and you cute. I'll do it. Hey, how you doing, sis? My name's Arshawn. I saw you from over there by the carrots, and I was wondering if there's a man in here who will try to fight me over you. Because I got to have you. I'm leaving the grocery store with you. I'm silly. I grew up watching The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, so like I really holler at women like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, how you doing? Go be funny, and or maybe there's something heavy right there. Pick it up. Show you I got some muscles. I don't know. So it's really weird because you can't do that anymore because women are going to look at you like this. Sorry for my listeners on Spotify who can't actually see the look, but you know the look if you're a man and you still have the courage to approach a lady in person. You know the look I'm talking about. And then say you get past that part. Say you get past that part of it and she likes you and you're funny and everything like that. And of course I'm handsome. And we get to talking. The conversation's the same. Anybody out there who's dating right now knows the conversation's always the same. So where are you from? Oh, where'd you go to school? Oh, sweet. What'd you do after high school? College? No. Trade school? Prison. Okay, cool. It's always the same. It's a job interview. And it's just downright disheartening. I mean, unless you're one of those lucky people who gets to find out that you have a soulmate that you've been hanging out with for 10 years and stuff like that. And you guys just looked up one day and was like, hey, we love each other. You know what I mean? Unless you had something organic and cool like that happen. Love sounds so cumbersome. And I understand why it seems so rare today. I saw a picture of a couple on Facebook today. A black couple. I don't mind saying that. I love seeing black shit. And I'm not ashamed of that. So any of my white friends that hear me when I say something about black people stuff, don't be put off by that or get the fuck on. You know what I mean? You're not my friend anyway. You know what I mean? Because I want you to be happy about white shit. You know, because I'm going to be happy about black shit. And if you don't want to be my friend because of it, fuck you. Anyways, back to what I was saying. There was a very beautiful black couple that I saw on Facebook earlier. And I was a little bit nervous because I wanted to give them props, but I'm like, how do you do that? I'm like, I don't know them, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I see some black people looking beautiful. If I saw some black people looking fucked up, I would say, aha, they look fucked up like everybody else and have no qualms about it. But I saw a representation of black love that was so beautiful. I saw an image of black love that inspired me so much. That's why I had to talk about love, because these people appear to be so in love. And I think it's genuine too, because like through the picture, you could see their love, bro. You could feel their love. And I thought, wow, I'd like to have that. And then I thought about it and I said, nah, I'm happy that they have it. I'm super happy that they have it, because anytime that you love someone so much that love transcends the digital platform, that's strong love, man. That's strong love. And I just think that's super dope. But for me, I think I said this to one of my to my first wife about my second wife. I said, I don't think I'm ever going to be in a relationship again. Excuse me. I said, because Dominique's the only girl that I would do right for. I said, that's the only person I think is worthy of me acting right for, of me doing the right thing for. And it's only because I recognize what quality of a person she is, and I fucked up. But other than that, I'll be like, you know what I mean? When a girl gets an attitude with me, I'm like, you ain't Dominique. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, because I feel like that's the only person in my life at this point who would be worth putting forth that kind of effort for. No one else in my life has shown themselves worthy of me putting in the effort to be in love with them. It takes so much work, so much mental and spiritual energy to cultivate, foster, nurture, and take care of love. Why the fuck would I waste that on some stranger? Why would I waste that on someone who has no skin in the game with me? Ain't been down through no trenches, ain't been through no mistresses. Ain't been through me losing a job. Ain't been through me getting my ass beat in the cage. Ain't been through me being in the hospital. Haven't been through me going through surgeries. I would only put forth that kind of effort for someone who has put skin in the game with me. So, do you really want love? On the surface, I say yes. But upon further investigation, I say fuck no. Sounds cumbersome, foreboding, and downright grueling. So no, I don't want that shit. But I'm a human being. I have thoughts, feelings, and emotions that change like everyone else. I could meet someone. The Most High could deliver the perfect light-skinned little motherfucker into my life, and she could change that. But until that day, I'm like, respectfully, love, fuck you. Hey, I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the questions. I'm really not that smart. I told you I'll just smoke a joint and then I just start talking. I'm just teasing. But I hope somebody got something out of this. I hope this touched somebody. Share this video. Like, comment. I don't care. Talk shit. Give me a thumbs down. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. Share it with a friend. Hey, girl, look at this goofy ass nigga. Look what he said. I don't care. Give me a thumbs down. Get on there and talk shit to me. Hey, man, I believe that love is everything that Walt Disney said it was. Fuck you, nigga. Whatever you want to say. I don't care. I encourage all the smokety smoke. Bring me all that good shit. The bad shit, too. But anyways, I'm going to get out of here because I got to go to sleep. And I think that there's a young lady who decided to text me. I saw it pop up a little while ago. So you guys, fingers crossed. And until next time, my name is Arshawn Wade, a.k.a. The Angry Nerd, a.k.a. Arshawn the Mouthpiece, the cat that got lost in Arkansas on his way to South Beach, a.k.a. Arshawn, a.k.a. Sean with a motherfucking R. Peace.